He has lived in Los Angeles for decades now, but he comes back here to make movies occasionally. He is a decorated, award-winning director, and we're going to talk to Doug tonight about some of his projects. And I'm very excited to have him on the show. He was referred to me by a guest we've had on several times, Mike Mercury, who is Mike is sort of retired now, even from coming on the radio, apparently, which I think is kind of slacky. And I'm saying that just in case he's listening. Because he's a great guy. Very funny, great writer. But anyway, Mike introduced me to Doug. Doug will be on at 6:35. We'll talk about Doug's connection. Doug has been, in his bio, it says he's lived in Los Angeles for decades, but he's been spending more and more time in Wisconsin up north on Lake Superior. That is not just escaping good weather. That's escaping good weather for pretty much the worst weather Wisconsin has, or the worst cold, I would say. Because Lake Superior is freezing. It was kind of like the cold secretly. But we'll talk to Doug about a number of things in his career and what he's got going on, because he's got a couple movies coming out that look really just dynamite. And then at 7:35, my pal Joel Murray will be here. Joel has just joined the cast of Chicago PD. It's the 14th season of this Dick Wolf, what do they call it, One Chicago series. You got Med, Fire, and PD. And Joel has just joined the cast. We'll talk to Joel about his role on the show. He's also been in Mad Men, and he has there's a cool movie coming up called Madden, and he plays Pat Summerall, the football announcer. So we'll talk to Joel. He's always a blast. He's part of the Whose Life Is It Anyway traveling show, and he's been in Wisconsin many times, a native Chicagoan. Joel Murray will be here at 7:35. Lots of fun. Got a great question tonight. I have to ask you, Amanda, first of all, how was your son's Halloween? Was it the childlike wonder that you got to live vicariously through? Did he have a good time?
Oh, I always live vicariously, and I always take part of the candy tax.
Well, of course.
Of course.
You get a taste. That's your job.
No, my son went, so the Wallers, he went trick-or-treating a handful of times. His aunt actually kidnapped him on Halloween and took him. She's like, I scoped out all the rich neighborhoods. He's going to have a great time. We're going to get full-size all this. And it was apparently horrible. Like, no one was passing out candy.
Why?
I don't know.
It's horrible.
She's like, yeah, there was like so few houses. It was a real bust.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so they didn't get a lot. And that's okay, because,
Sure.
I don't need my kids sugared up all the time.
I'm sure he got more than he needs anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's fine.
I mean, someone was passing out full-size Toblerones, so that was cool.
Well, those are like 2 feet long, aren't they?
About a ruler's length, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And then someone else 3D printed these little ghosts that were whistles the kids could blow into, which is really cool if you're not the parent who has to deal with the aftermath of that.
Right.
So,
wow.
But yeah, they said there was like not a lot of houses, and that's something I noticed when I took them trick-or-treating, was there were a lot less houses than normal.
Oh, wow. That's that's fun. Toblerone, isn't that kind of a older person's
No, I mean, it's
type
like
candy, like toffee fay?
Maybe. I don't know. It's like chocolate and with little nougat pieces, I think.
Interesting.
Toffee pieces.
I know they're huge. I know that's the candy Joey wanted from the airport on Friends. That's a big thing. So anyway, well, I want to ask you about this, Amanda, because I know you're a Stranger Things fan.
Yes.
Are you caught up? Have you seen all 4 seasons leading into season 5, which happens this month?
I've watched them all, but it's been so long since, season 4. Like,
right.
I bet I forgot so much.
I stopped after season 1. I have to be honest. We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. I kind of stopped, and it's not like I didn't like. I liked season 1. I don't know where season 2 kind of went off the rails for me. I probably should have stuck with it, but sometimes I get impatient with a show and I just stopped. So my goal is this month is to catch up on 2, 3, and 4 before 5 drops on Thanksgiving.
That's a lot of episodes.
I know. I can do it though. I'm like a Goonie. I never say die. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff coming out. I think David Harbour was like sort of by default one of the most likable actors or celebrities in Hollywood, due in part to Stranger Things. And he's in a lot of other films, too, where he always plays kind of a smartass or kind of a dumbass, but likable. And he just, like, there was a lawsuit brought against him by the character that plays 11, Millie Bobby Brown, who said he was bullying her before they even started shooting season 5.
See, that's such a shocker, though, because when their relationship started developing in season 1, and then in season 2, he kind of like adopts her, and she's like the replacement daughter for his character. And like, it was always told like how sweet he was to her, how close they were on set. They have a real father-daughter relationship. So like, when I heard you mention it earlier for your beats, like, I was shocked. I mean, I've already heard all about Lily Allen stuff, and
how he was cheating on her,
and how apparently brutal her new album is. Like, she read receipts and the songs and texts and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about his personal life. I don't typically care about people's personal lives. I try not to anyway, judge people's marriages. I know whatever. But this is weird. And not that him cheating isn't. That's terrible if that's the deal, and I don't know about that. But with this Millie Bobby Brown, I want to go, well, maybe he was using an acting tactic or something, and he was like him trying to father her in some weird way as a connection through acting, method acting, whatever you want to call it. But there are pages and pages of accusations apparently, and it's such a bummer because I do like the guy. I love his acting.
Isn't that an issue where method acting often just goes off the rails?
It can.
So often. Like, I'm not sure if you've dealt with it, like, personally, but I mean, I hear so many stories about how it doesn't end well. Like, Jared Leto would be one of the biggest ones.
He's a weirdo, yeah.
When he was playing the Joker and he was sending, dead rats to the cast and stuff?
Look, the guy's got his quirks, okay? Yeah, I don't know, and I'm not a schooled enough actor. I get method and Meisner and all these different techniques, but I think when your co-star is, let's say 5 years ago, what was Millie Bobby Brown? 15?
Yes.
When the show came on, maybe even younger, because I don't know, the first season probably was longer than 5 years. So,
oh my God, the show's taken forever to just film. It
came out like in 2014 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So the fact that you're doing this to a kid who might not totally get where you're coming from, you bail and you move on and you go, I'm sorry, but this is weird. There's so many pages, so many accusations, and it's a real drag when you find out one of your, not heroes, but I've always liked David Harbour. In everything I've seen him in, I'm a fan. So it kind of sucks. With that in mind, folks, I think it's time we not waste one more second and get to our Nite Lite question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question. Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Questions.
It's National Housewives Day. So tonight's question is, who is your favorite movie or TV housewife? Who is the best? Who is your favorite? However you want to answer it. Do they still call women who stay home, they still call them housewives, right? Or trad wives? There's all kinds of different...
It depends who you talk to, because it can be a sensitive term to some.
It is. No, and I want to respect that.
So I called myself a stay-at-home mom for, the 4 years that I was. So, yeah. I mean, technically that's considered a housewife. I'm not married, though, but...
Right.
Stay-at-home mom, housewife, trad wife is new.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing.
I would love to be a house husband that didn't have to work.
That's what
or
Kevin
have to
says.
run kids around. That doesn't sound like a bad life to me, but that's our question. It's National Housewives Day in honor of all the housewives. Who is the best movie or TV housewife? You can text us at 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC, or you can drop us a comment on the app if that's where you're listening, or drop us a stream comment if you're watching the radio on YouTube, Facebook, or X. Great to have you, however you're joining us tonight, folks. Be part of the show. It's always more fun when you guys participate. I'm going to go first, and I said Mrs. C on social media, which is Marion Cunningham. I'm changing that. I have a tie between Laura Petrie, who is Mary Tyler Moore on the Dick Van Dyke Show, or Gloria from Modern Family. I love her. She's so funny. And I don't know. I think she might be my favorite because she's more current. What
That's
about
a
you?
show that's on my bucket list. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my gosh, it's a great show.
I will throw in Kitty from that '70s show because she's a special type of housewife.
That's awesome. All right, you can elaborate on that. Let us know, folks. Shoot us a text. Be part of the show. We're coming right back. And when we do, I'm going to tell you about how our re-release did at the box office this weekend. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
Hey, it's Amanda, and we all know that Northeast Wisconsin has some of the best events around, but trying to find them all can be tricky. So here at WGBW, we decided to do the work for you. Prevent boredom on any night by going to WGBW.FM and click events in the top right corner. You'll never have to spend forever scrolling to find out what's going on in your area. And if you got an event to share, hit us up by emailing info@WGBW.FM, bringing you local news and timeless hits while giving you the 411 on what's happening in New Wisco.
It's the Eco Minute, powered by Clean Wisconsin, your environmental voice since 1970. I'm Amy Barrio. Air pollution leads to higher rates of breast cancer. According to a new study from researchers in Oregon, they found women living in areas with heavy emissions from cars and trucks are more likely to develop breast cancer. The Trump administration recently rescinded EPA rules meant to reduce vehicle emissions. Wisconsin's small farming communities bracing for the end of federal food share benefits. Not only do thousands of rural residents rely on federal food assistance, about $120 million of Wisconsin's food share benefits are spent at local farmers markets. Bragging rights for Wisconsin apples. An organic orchard in Washington County named one of the top 10 apple orchards in the country by USA Today. Peck and Bushel Fruit Company in Colgate is the largest organic apple orchard in the upper Midwest. For a deep dive into Wisconsin's most pressing environmental issues, check out my Defender podcast at cleanwisconsin.org or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
State Senator Sarah Kieski, I want to talk about campus closures, especially the UW Baraboo closure.
To see these closures keep happening is heartbreaking, and seeing that there's not been an appreciation of not only the importance of this for students, but really recognizing that these are economic drivers in these small rural communities that is having a huge impact.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 until 6. Civic Media.
Welcome back. So great to have you with me here tonight, folks, on a gorgeous Monday night in the state of Wisconsin. Hope you're enjoying that extra hour of darkness we got. It made my drive down a little more harrowing, but what are you going to do? At least it's in the mid-50s, Amanda.
Yeah, it's not too bad for November.
You're okay with that, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we've had years where you got snow in October, you're trick-or-treating with your big snow pants and your big snow suits.
Absolutely. It just makes winter that much shorter when we hold off snow. And I'm a big fan of that. I will say, Halloween was great this year. I did the show from home, which is always, I'm not a huge fan of that, but I had my prisoner costume, my go-to costume, which cost me $5 at the dollar store 10 years ago because I go the extra mile. And I had that on, and then I went over to a party for about an hour, and then I went over to my folks' house to watch the World Series, and they had a big bucket of candy, and I'm still dressed like a prisoner. And I realized that whatever it is, at my age, I cannot shovel candy in like I did when I was a kid, but my God, I probably ate 20 pieces of candy.
Okay, but which ones?
M&M's, Twix, and Snickers. And there were some Almond Joys in there too. And
that's not bad.
Mounds. Those are better for you because there's coconut. There's superfoods in there. A Mounds bar is actually dark chocolate and coconut. 2 superfoods.
You know,
that's a health food.
I was going through my son's candy for safety, of course, right?
Yeah,
and
sure.
As I was going through it, I noticed an alarmingly shortage of Butterfingers and Babe Ruths. I found one in the whole bunch, and that was both my kids' candy combined.
Just good reason for that.
Don't tell me you hate Butterfingers.
I don't hate any candy, any confection. I am not a hater, but those two both would be kind of last on my list. They're fine, but you can't compete with a Snickers. They are banging on all cylinders. Nougat.
A Babe Ruth is like right there. The only thing that's missing is what? Like,
does it have nougat?
I think it has nougat, doesn't it?
I'm not sure. I don't really know what nougat is. I just know it tastes amazing. No, but listen, I would eat those, but I honestly, you just sit there and it's like, and then I sleep horribly. That's more sugar I've had than I had in a month. Like, it's awful, but it's so amazing. It's like a sense memory, though. You just start eating candy because it's in front of you and it's Halloween. It's not fair. Our question of the night, folks, is in honor of National Housewife Day. There is a day for everything, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. Actual feather your hair day. They got everything. Is in honor of National Housewives Day. Who is the best movie or TV housewife? I say Laura Petrie from The Dick Van Dyke Show. Or if I go more contempo, Gloria Sofia Vergara from Modern Family. And I might have a little crush on her, too.
I mean, how could you not?
But I had one on Mary Tyler Moore, too. So, did you tell me? Oh, yeah. So, elaborate on
Kitty from that 70s show, because, while she tries to be the perfect housewife and the perfect mother and peppy and happy all the time, she has the exact same breakdowns all the other housewives desperately have.
All right. That's a good one.
I mean, it's just great because when it does happen, it's the best. You feel seen.
The breakdown?
Yeah, the breakdowns.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We're getting some good text activity here, too, on the text line. Anna from the 608 says, "Hi, Pete and Amanda. My favorite TV housewife is Lucille Ball. She was always getting into something. She was very funny." Agreed, Anna. That's a great choice. Boy, I never thought of her as a TV housewife, but I guess she is. I just remember the Drake Sather show about how unrealistic that show was. The Drake Sather joke, I should say. He said Lucille Ball and her band director husband, Desi Arnaz, are best friends with a 70-year-old janitor and his wife. And that you just wouldn't see that. That's how things have changed. It's terrible. It's too bad. Like, who cares? But it was a funny joke. Monica from the 608 says, Barbara Billingsley in Leave It to Beaver. But you're wrong about housewives not having to work. They work. That's true. Wow, I fell into the trap. Of course they do. And Monica says their workday never ends. And my wife stayed home for 7 years with our kids when we were in L.A. And I would come home, and honest to God, I would be like, thank God I have to go to work. You're right. That is much harder in a different way for sure, Monica. No question about that. Mark from Prairie to Sac in the 608 says, Kitty does have a bit of a wild streak, though. I've already forgotten what we were talking about. What is Kitty?
From that 70s show.
Oh, Kitty. Okay.
Yeah, Red and Kitty.
She was Ribisi's girlfriend on Friends, right? The much older teacher. Is that the same actor I'm thinking about where they used to make out all the time in front of people and make things uncomfortable?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Who's the actress? Do you know?
I don't know. Give me a second.
See if you can find a picture and we'll post it on the stream and people can comment. Mark also says the moon is fantastic tonight. It absolutely is, Mark. And that made my drive down a little nicer. And I guess we're supposed to have a super moon on Wednesday. So that'll be exciting. Tyler from Wisconsin Rapids, he's in the 608, says Cloris Leachman from Young Frankenstein. Her front door had... Amanda, what do you make of Tyler's text? I don't want to read something that Tyler's been commenting on women's bodies a lot lately in his texts. Tastefully.
Listen, I can't comment on Tyler personally as I don't know him. But
he's cheeky, to say the least.
It's something.
He says, Cloris Leachman from Young Frankenstein, her front door had great knockers, although she was really just the girlfriend. He just wanted to say great knockers. Thank you, Tyler. AJ from Madison in the 608 says it's too expensive and we're all buying the same thing.
He was referring to the candy.
The candy, right. But are Baby Ruths and Butterfingers just as expensive as the Cadillac of candies, the other ones I mentioned?
No, I think they're in the same price range.
Whew.
Now, I think what's expensive candy is when you're doing like the Ghirardellis or what have you.
Afford to give those out. That's crazy. All right, so keep those texts coming, folks. Turning to the stream here. Oh, Katie Siegel, Peg Bundy. PJ on the stream says she reminds me of a childhood friend's mom when I would visit his home. Oh, that's always nice, too. And it reminds you of an actual person. All right, folks, we're going to do the news, and we are coming back with Mr. Doug Prey, a very decorated and award-winning Wisconsin filmmaker. That's all coming up after the news. Great to have you with me. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
We will never be the same. The more you change, the less you feel.
From Denmark to De Pere, this is 97.9 WGBW.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. As the government shutdown drags on, the Trump administration signaling it will abide by a judge's order to use emergency funds to pay out SNAP food assistance benefits. Here's ABC's Christian Cordero.
The administration plans to use, it says, the contingency fund to the tune of $4.65 billion, which is about half of what is actually required to fund SNAP, and that it could take weeks, if not months, to release these funds because of basically different state rules.
Candidates vying for key state and local races making a last-minute push ahead of tomorrow's elections. New Jersey and Virginia choose governors. New York City elects a new mayor. Political analysts say the results are being watched closely with the midterm elections now 1 year out. A northern Illinois man has been charged with threatening to kill President Trump. Court records unsealed say 57-year-old Trent Schneider posted a social media post in October that he planned to get some guns and says he lost everything, including his home, that's up for auction. This is ABC News.
What was the name of the mother on Happy Days? What was the name of the mother on Happy Days?
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly clear tonight. A low in the low 30s. A beautiful November day for tomorrow with lots of sunshine, a high within a few degrees of 60. Another nice day on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine, highs in the mid-50s. Right now it's 50.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
State Senator Sarah Kieski, I want to talk about campus closures, especially the UW Baraboo closure.
To see these closures keep happening is heartbreaking, and seeing that there's not been an appreciation of not only the importance of this for students, but really recognizing that these are economic drivers in these small rural communities that is having a huge impact.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 until 6.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think. Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at fightingblindness.org, a public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Welcome back. Oh, man, it is great to be back on the air after a wonderful holiday weekend. Hope you guys had a great Halloween wherever you're joining me from in our beautiful state or parts beyond. Welcome to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. We are going to get to our guest in just a moment. I understand we have a phone call, though, right?
We do. We have Allie on the line.
One of our favorites. It's Ollie from the North Woods. Hello, my dear.
Hi, how are ya? You almost took my favorite person, Marion Cunningham.
Mrs. C.
Of Happy Days.
Yeah.
With a little bit of Edith Bunker thrown in. Because sometimes when you're a mother, it's better to be a little clueless about what's going on.
That's a great answer.
I agree.
Well done, Ollie. You and I think alike. I had Mrs. C on there too, but Edith is another great one. So thank you very much for the call. Have a great night.
You guys too. Bye-bye.
All right. That's Ollie from the North Woods. Ollie is she's always on board when we have a food question. So I was glad that she reached out for this one. That's our question of the night. It's National Housewives Day. Who is your favorite TV or movie housewife? Let us know at 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Text us on the app or the stream. Just text us and be part of the show. Right now, folks, I'm very excited to welcome my next guest. He is an award-winning filmmaker and native Wisconsinite, and I've been trying to get him on the show for the longest time. We finally made it work. Mr. Doug Prey. Doug, welcome.
Hey, thank you very much. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you. I should have mentioned you were from Madison, but I think Wisconsin is good enough, right?
Yeah, I am from Madison, Middleton, West Middleton, to be exact. That's right.
Okay. Well, it's great to have you here, and I'm looking at all your stuff today. I'm very excited to jump in and start talking about some of the things you've done, but I have to ask you first, Doug, do you have a favorite TV housewife?
Do I have a favorite housewife?
You weren't expecting these hard-hitting questions, were you?
I know. Didn't I tell you that I really don't watch a lot of TV? Let me think.
You did.
I mean, God, the favorite TV housewife. I really don't. I'm a freak of nature. I really don't watch television. I did when I was little. So the question is, can I remember the names of those housewives?
Well, you got Marion Cunningham. Mrs. C or
Mrs. C would do. I mean, there you go. There's one right there. But I don't have a favorite because, I don't know. I think my mom just took over and dominated.
Oh, that's a great answer, especially if she happens to be listening. That's outstanding.
She's not, unfortunately. Rest in peace, Ma.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a great answer, and it's great to have you here, Doug. So before we get into some of the cool things you've done, and I just am so excited to talk to you about some of your films, but tell us a little bit about you. Give us some background, if you would, for the listeners.
Well, I was actually born in Denver, but I was raised in Madison. My dad was a professor of geology for like 35 years at the UW. So if anybody's listening, and this was many years ago, but if they went to the UW and they took Geology 101, they probably had Professor Prey. That was my dad.
Wow, nice.
Along with a few others. But and so I grew up in Madison. My mom founded the Madison Boy Choir. She was heavily involved in like music, all sorts of music stuff in that community. So I grew up with a scientist and a musician, and and it kind of made me get into film for some reason. After all these years, I ended up going to college and saying, God, I think I want to be a filmmaker, because I couldn't figure out what to do. And film combined everything I was into. I wanted to be in a band, but I wasn't good enough. I wanted to be an artist, but I wasn't good enough. All these different things, and film just combined everything. And then And then I got into documentary filmmaking because I just liked that form of storytelling. I've made documentaries now for almost, I guess, Jesus, I hate to say it, 30 years.
Wow.
Which would take you back to my three sons' days in terms of like housewives.
Well done.
Anyway, but so I've been making films for a number of years. I have lived in LA, which of course is where the film biz is. But there's a secret that not a lot of people know about Los Angeles. Is they always think like, oh, those Californians, all those LA people. You do realize that most people in LA are from Wisconsin. or there's a hell of a lot of Packers fans who live out here. There's a lot of Midwesterners. I mean, you have different bars around the city where you can go be a Viking. You can go to a full-on Vikings bar. You can go to a full-on Packers bar. You can go to any bar for any team. I just wanted to say that because I know a lot of people from Wisconsin.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I loved, like, when we found those bars. I just felt more at home. Like, it's easy to connect with other Midwesterners, and I'm kind of a half Chicago, half Wisconsin guy, so I found both types of bars. But also, I found that the people I met out there that grew up out there were pretty normal. Like, and if they grew up in the Valley, like not right in Studio City or North Hollywood, they would act like, oh, those Hollywood types. I'm like, wait, didn't you grow up out here? And they're like, but it's as foreign to them as it is to someone from Wisconsin almost sometimes.
It's so true. I mean, when I travel and people are like, you're from LA, they just get this instant, like, it's just glitz and glamour or like these total freaks. And you're just, you guys have no idea how Midwestern LA really is underneath it all. I mean, yes, it's California and whatever. But anyway, so I've lived out here for a while and then spending a lot of time up north on Lake Superior where my dad is from Ashland, actually. And so my wife and I have been spending time up there and may actually move back there sometime soon.
I saw that you said that was in your email to me earlier, and I was like, wow, that's so interesting that you go from LA where they have great weather year round to the coldest part of Wisconsin.
Because Pete, I actually miss snow. I always loved winter when it came. I really did. And so I still to this day, I guess we're kind of like opposite of snowbirds. Anyway.
That's great. All right. So, and before I don't want to forget to say this to you because you said you wanted to be in a band and you wanted to be an artist. Well, you are an artist with the films you make, and you may not be in a band, Doug, but you won a Grammy. So that's kind of cool. Like, I saw on your IMDb page, I'm like, so you are an artist and you won a Grammy, even though you might not be in a band. That's pretty cool.
I won a Grammy for a series that I executive produced and edited and was a writer on called The Defiant Ones. It was on HBO. It was a 4-part series about Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre. And the craziest thing is I was super psyched that we got a Grammy for that. It was like best music film that year. It was unbelievable, but I know so many people who are in bands who are just amazing. And it was just so kind of weird and backwards. It was like, what the hell? Like, you got a Grammy and I've been making music for like 30 years. It was actually awkward because I felt like, I made it for making a film. It'd be like somebody winning an Oscar for writing a song, which of course happens all the time.
Yeah, sure, right.
It's not. I'm not bemoaning it, and my friends were very noble about it. But it was sort of like, why do I have the Grammy amongst me? Because I know a lot of people in bands.
That's great. Let's talk about. I don't even know where to start. Like, I've got so many questions here for you in a limited amount of time. But how did you become a director, Doug? Like, you said you wanted to make films, but most people, like, when they get into the business, it's not like, well, I'm a director. You work your way up. You start as either a PA, maybe an assistant editor, or whatever it is. How did you find your way into the position of directing some really cool films with some pretty big names?
Basically, I was lucky enough to get into UCLA Film School. And I was rejected. So the moral to the story, and I tell this to anybody who gets rejected to anything, ask again, keep trying. Because I got rejected and I wrote him a letter and say, you guys blew it, like, basically. And it's a long story and there's a few details that might help people understand it. But I got in and this guy called me way before cell phones and he said, like, Are you Doug Prey? I liked your letter. That's what we want in a producer.
Yeah.
Kind of the spirit of like, like, wait a minute, you guys blew it. I should be there. So he let me in, and I got in, and I went there. And at UCLA, you're kind of taught to be a director. You're like an all-around filmmaker. Like you do sound, you work with actors, you do documentaries, you kind of do everything, but you come out of there feeling like you can make a movie instead of wanting to work up through the ranks. Like I didn't want to do the whole, like, okay, I'm an AC and then I'm a second AC, or actually that would have been how it went for me. So first AC down to second. But like yeah, I mean, long story short, I graduated from there, and I just was like, I got to make a film, and it has to be good. And I spent 3 or 4 years making my first movie, which was called Hype, and it was about the Seattle music scene, it's a music film about the birth and the explosion and the kind of the ridiculous, I'd say exploitation. It's not a political film, but kind of the way that scene just got blown out of proportion throughout the world was so amazingly weird to the people who lived there. And my film was called Hype because it was about what happens when you come into this little community and just hype the hell out of it around the whole world, and money comes in and millions of bands move there because they want to get signed, and the whole city changed from the sleepy, cool little underground little Seminole, everybody drinking beer and having fun and making music, into like the biggest scene on the planet, like Liverpool.
Yeah.
And so the film was about that, and it kind of kicked off my career. I was, it took forever. It was total paying my dues, made no money. The whole thing was misery, but it worked. It actually went to Sundance, and it kind of kicked off my career. And then I just kept doing music docs. And then I started branching off into other subculture docs. Like I made a film about truck drivers called Big Rig, where we drove all around the country and like literally all 48 states. We didn't go to Alaska or Hawaii, but and just interviewed truckers in their rigs. And that's called Big Rig. And I made a movie about graffiti writers. I've made a movie about artists. I've sort of stayed in this realm of like subcultures, making docs about either artists or misunderstood personalities, I guess you could say, like people who are just like, you think they're this and you're like, wait a minute, I don't understand that person. Why are they doing this art or whatever they do? I haven't done sports movies, but mostly art, art and music, a lot of stuff like that.
My guest is Doug Prey. He is a native Wisconsinite and an award-winning filmmaker. That's pretty cool that you got your first film you got into Sundance. Not a lot of people can say that. Is it more about the idea, Doug, as to the execution, or is it a combination of both? Like when you found Hype, like for a documentary filmmaker to want to throw themselves into something that could take years, you've really got to love the idea. How do you know when you have a great idea?
What's funny is I don't like almost any idea I first hear. I'm not an inventor. I don't come up with my own ideas. I really mean that. Like I've made like 13 feature docs now, and I don't think I've come up with one. I don't sit there and go, I know what would be a great idea. I'm going to go. It's usually somebody else has an idea. I usually think it's terrible at first. I really mean that. I'll be like, that's just bad. That's like, you're too late. Like it's been done 5 other times, like whatever. But then something will catch me, and it's usually in the realm of like, oh, nobody understands this. Like I never understood this. I had been stereotyping the hell out of this thing, or these people, like like truck drivers as an example. Like people have stereotypes of what a truck driver was or is, right?
Yeah.
And then you get into and you start going, oh, wait a minute, this is a whole nother world. Like that happened to me with hip hop. I didn't listen to hip hop when I grew up at all. Yeah. I'm not like a hip hop head. I never was. But like with my second movie, Scratch, it was about the birth of hip hop and about hip hop DJs. And once I met these guys and really got into I was kind of like, oh my God, there's so many people who don't see this. And then my job becomes sort of translating like what they do for like a larger audience. Not like they need it always, but like I always just want people to watch my movies and go, I had that totally wrong. Like now,
Doug,
I
let's pick up. Sorry to interrupt. Let's pick up right there. We got to do a very short break. We're coming back with director Doug Prey.
when it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of active liver.
We ask a lot of our liver, so give it the support it deserves with an easy daily detox from Active Liver. Made with natural ingredients like turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke, Active Liver helps cleanse and protect your liver so you feel less bloated and more energized. Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. When your liver is happy, your body is happy. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
With locations in Appleton and Oshkosh, Insight Eye Care has been serving the Fox Valley since 1972, offering comprehensive eye care services. Their doctors also share a special interest in treating chronic dry eye disease, providing specialty contact lenses, and expert pediatric eye care. Find Insight Eye Care on North Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton. Improving lives by improving sight with quality eye care for everyone in your family. Insight Eye Care. Visit WIInsight.com to schedule your eye exam today.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
State Senator Sarah Kieski, I want to talk about campus closures, especially the UW Baraboo closure.
To see these closures keep happening is heartbreaking, and seeing that there's not been an appreciation of not only the importance of this for students, but really recognizing that these are economic drivers in these small rural communities that is having a huge impact.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show, weekday afternoons from 4 until 6.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
By Dora Singleton, and Harpo Marx portrayed himself.
How could Harpo Marx play anyone but himself? That's fantastic.
It's a good
welcome
question.
back. This is Pete Schwaba at Nite Lite. Great to have you with me. I'm talking with Doug Prey. I was about to ask you a question about Howard. Doug. Doug is a native Wisconsinite and very accomplished filmmaker, award-winning. He's won a Grammy, folks. I've never even been nominated for a Grammy, Doug. I think that's like the coolest thing ever. I've never produced any music either.
I will nominate you.
I appreciate that. One of your films is The Power of Film, and we talk about movies pretty much on a nightly basis here. So I would love to dive into this a little more. It was an idea you stumbled across, I guess, because Howard Suber was one of your professors at UCLA. What made you think this would be a great documentary? And tell us a little bit about the documentary.
Well, it's a 6-part series. It's running on Max right now, and actually it's going to start running again on Turner Classic Movies, TCM channel, starting on November 8th again. I say that because they've done several rounds of it. Yeah. It's a 6-part series. It's called The Power of Film, and it's basically if you lifted the hood on any of the greatest American movies of all time. There's this professor I had at UCLA Film School named Professor Howard Suber, and remember, my dad was a professor, so we there was a chemistry. Yeah. I was his TA, and I was really close to him, and he was just he was brilliant. He was legendary. People would be like, "Dude, you got to take his class. You cannot graduate without taking his class." And he would break open kind of the inner workings of big movies, only American movies, and only the most. His whole criteria was they have to be the most popular and memorable. They can't just be memorable, like a little movie that's memorable, and it can't be just popular, because there's a lot of huge crappy movies that are really popular that you do not remember the next year. So his criteria was it has to be memorable for maybe even generations, like The Wizard of Oz or Shawshank Redemption, or like of course The Godfather. I mean, I could name 50, but big movies. And to answer your question, this other fellow student of mine, Laura Gabbard, who's actually from Minneapolis. I told you everybody's from the Midwest in LA.
Yeah.
She's a documentarian, but she and I were students of Howard's, and he was frustrated. He was like, I want to do something like Bill Moyers. I want to do like a series or something. And we're just like, well, let's just do it. And so it's a totally independent project. We had no funding, no company, no nothing. We just kind of strung together. We did a series of interviews with Howard, and he's brilliant. I got to tell you, he's brilliant, literally. And I don't mean like in an academic way. You don't have to be an academic to appreciate the series. It's just flat out fascinating the way he unpacks movies. And what we do is we combine all the scenes from these movies with him narrating. So you'll see like, you'll see like a scene from The Godfather, and like he'll say, now here's like, check out what the youngest brother's doing. Well, this is classic. This goes back like 2,500 years. This is from the Greek story. He breaks it down in a way that's brilliant, but it's not an academic series. This is not like a master class either. It's just, I would just urge anybody who's a movie fan to check out The Power of Film, not to be just self-promoting, but I'm really proud of it. It took us 8 years to complete. I edited it in the very room that I'm sitting in right now. And Laura was the director, and I co-directed, and, we just put it together, both of us. And we were just so happy that TCM took it, because they were like, this is exactly what we're all about. And then Max, because they're related to Max, like Max has it streaming, so we're thrilled about that. But the bottom line is, it's like if it just goes through like the last 100 years of movies. It is not even chronological, on different themes. Like he breaks down like heroes and villains. Like why are heroes so boring and villains so amazingly interesting? And he kind of like flips stuff on its head, and you just go, God, that's right. I never thought about that. That's why I like that movie. And it's just kind of, I guess I've said what I could in short strokes, but it's called The Power of Film, and it's on TCM, and it's running again next weekend.
And if you want to check out Howard Suber's list, folks, go to IMDb, because it is up. He's got 60 movies that he ranks, and he obviously is not listening to the conventional wisdom. He's got, like, Godfather is 23, and, like, he's got a great list, though. These are all great movies, and I love that he has a couple comedies in his top 10. But my guest is Doug Prey, folks. He's a native Wisconsinite and an award-winning filmmaker. Doug, I noticed you received a special thanks for a movie called I Am a Sex Addict. What exactly were they thanking you for?
God, I got to really think about that one. What's funny about special thanks is, man, they run deep.
That's a pretty vague category, right?
It's a really big category. God, I think that was Kaveh Zahidi. He's a filmmaker in New York. Amazing, crazy, incredible, brilliant filmmaker. And I think I must have been on his crew about 25 years ago or something like that.
Oh, that's great. Hey, we have about a minute before we have to break for the news. Can I keep you through the news for a few more minutes?
Of course. Absolutely.
All right, fantastic. So with about a minute left, why do you think films stay popular based on the fact that you spent so much time with your professor, who is a film guru?
It really does go back to just good storytelling principles and things that have been around literally for thousands of years. And it doesn't matter the format. It doesn't matter if it's TikTok or a 90-minute film or a 12-part series. The same exact, very human principles that we had when we were sitting around the campfire when we were Neanderthals, and maybe we still are just in effect. There's really good stories that are gripping and exciting and have a cadence and a structure, and there's really bad storytelling all the time.
That is a great answer. Honestly, that's a very brutally honest answer. Doug Prey is here. He's going to stick with us through the news, folks. AJ from Madison in the 608 says, Modern Family would crack me up every time, and I love her. Forget the name. Gloria is her name. She's married to the Ed O'Neill character, and she is hilarious. Pamela from Wisconsin Rapids, she's in the 715, says, Samantha Stevens on Bewitched. Love Ed, that show as a youngster, from Pamela. And thank you, Pamela, very much. Lori in the 715 says, good evening, Pete. For my favorite mom, I would pick Barbara Sandwich off of... I got to decipher this text. All right, we're coming back after the news, folks, with Doug Prey. Actor Joel Murray is here at 7:35 from Chicago PD. Thanks for being with me. It's Nite Lite on a Monday.
Local news and timeless hits. WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay.
ABC News, I'm Stephanie Officer. During a campaign stop in Astoria, Queens tonight, New York City Democratic mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani responded to President Trump's support for former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's run for mayor.
In these final days, what was rumored, what was feared has become naked and unabashed. The MAGA movement's embrace of Andrew Cuomo is reflective of Donald Trump's understanding that this would be the best mayor for him.
President Trump is threatening to deploy the U.S. military to Nigeria. He says it's due to anti-Christian violence, but the Nigerian government is pushing back on that claim. ABC's Karen Travers.
He said it's because that there are killings of Christians in that country, in Nigeria. Now, there is political violence there, but when you look at it, it is complex. There are people targeted for their religion, but also ethnicity. It's important to note that the Nigerian government has pushed back on what they say is a mischaracterization.
This is ABC News. A new study shows Americans could be spending more and more time in their cars. ABC's Jim Ryan.
With return to the office orders taking hold at more and more companies, the lull in traffic congestion that came with the pandemic is fading into history. The Texas A&M Transportation Institute's latest urban mobility report finds Americans losing 63 hours per year to traffic jams, a 16% increase since 2019, and it's costing us $269 billion a year in lost productivity.
Italian rescuers have freed a worker trapped under the rubble of a partially collapsed medieval tower in central Rome. The man was rushed to a local hospital in an unknown condition. Just days before the company's first location was set to open in Paris, French authorities have accused fast fashion giant Shein of violating French law on child pornography after selling sex dolls, quote, with a childlike appearance. The company has 24 hours to remove the listings or face a block in the country. Stephanie Officer, ABC News.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
State Senator Sarah Kieski, I want to talk about campus closures, especially the UW Baraboo closure.
To see these closures keep happening is heartbreaking, and seeing that there's not been an appreciation of not only the importance of this for students, but really recognizing that these are economic drivers in these small rural communities that is having a huge impact.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 until 6.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic
come in
thing.
for a sec?
Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
he is. And so I had to quickly and look at my hair. It's just isn't that nuts? Yeah. Thank you, Diana. It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's really fun. Can you close it? Yeah, cool. You can check it out.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly clear tonight. A low in the low 30s. A beautiful November day for tomorrow with lots of sunshine, a high within a few degrees of 60. Another nice day on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine, highs in the mid-50s. Right now it's 48.
I was stuck in a state of panic and endless rituals. So I made the call.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
State Senator Sarah Kieski, I want to talk about campus closures, especially the UW Baraboo closure.
To see these closures keep happening is heartbreaking, and seeing that there's not been an appreciation of not only the importance of this for students, but really recognizing that these are economic drivers in these small rural communities that is having a huge impact.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 until 6.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
From Ashwaubenon to Alloway, this is 97.9 WGBW.
Welcome back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, folks. It is finally Monday. We get to talk about the things in life that make us happy, like movies and TV, comedy, music, all kinds of stuff. My current guest is Doug Prey. We will be back to Doug in just a moment. He is a native Wisconsinite and very accomplished filmmaker. Joining me at 7:30 tonight will be Joel Murray from Chicago PD. He plays Commander Devlin, just joined the cast this year. Excited to talk to Joel and have him back on the show. Our question of the night is, it's National Housewives Day. Yes, that is a national day. And my question to you is, who is your favorite TV or movie housewife? We'll catch up on texts in just a minute here, but let us know. Be part of the show. We also talked about, Amanda, what else did we cover? David Harbour. What a disappointment that is.
A lot about David Harbour. Yeah, that's massively upsetting.
Such a likable guy. He was the Santa Claus guy in the Crazy Killer Santa Claus movie with the Violent Night.
Think so, yes.
Yeah. That's a real bummer. And we also talked about how I ate pounds of candy like I was 12 years old a few nights ago. I'm still working that out. Yeah, exactly. So with that in mind, folks, answer our question, and I will read it on the radio. And now let's get back to our guest, Mr. Doug Prey. He is a native Wisconsinite, making his home in Los Angeles now, and a very decorated, award-winning director and filmmaker. Doug, do you have a Wisconsin story in you would still like to tell? And how would you approach that? Is there an angle for Wisconsin as a director that you think could be interesting?
Well, it's weird because this sounds so cliche, but there's stories everywhere. There's not one state or one town or one household that you couldn't find enough material to make a feature-length documentary film. So I just want to caveat with
That's a great answer. I agree with you.
I mean, it's true. But I think whenever I spent a lot of time in Wisconsin, even though my home was in LA, where the film business has been. I say has been, but that's a different story for a different night.
Yeah.
I guess like the thing I think about the most when I'm traveling back in my home state is the changing of the farms. And this would be more like, this isn't a funny, it's not a comedy kind of thing, but it's like, I think there's a documentary, there has been some pretty good documentaries about sort of the food industry and everything, but about the shift from the family farm to big ag. and the way that happens, and you know, and you'd want to kind of tell both sides, because it is happening and it's going to happen. And I don't think it's big ag isn't going to go away. I'm talking about like factory farming and kind of the different sort of CAFO type feeding operations. And you know, it's just changing everything. Like sort of this shift about 10 years ago when you started realizing, you know, we used to see silos when you're driving by, and now there's these massive installations that are the granaries, and you know, and it's again, it's not like, I mean, that's just progress, you could say, and that's going to happen. But there's also still this huge, you know, movement over people like family farmers are saying, yeah, but the old ways were actually better and healthier and we get better meat. And there's all these other like absolute truths about, like, you know, it's this mix. And I think that is a really, it's a healthy story. Healthy is a weird way to say that. It's an amazing conflict, because you have things that existed for tens of thousands of years of knowledge and history and farming and understanding, versus kind of like big business. And it's not like all big business is bad, but it's just that is playing out so heavily. And I think Iowa already has lost whatever that battle was. Like it's really, like, Iowa is pretty much, you know, a CAFO state. And I just think that's, you know, I wouldn't approach it like as a political film, like, okay, this is the side. I would really want to approach it as every good film is about drama and about conflict. And I've always given credence to people I may not agree with. I just think there's a really important conversation going down there. And Wisconsin is kind of, you know, it's actually, it isn't lost. It's not all going one way, but it's definitely a really important battle. And there's a lot of people hurting, and there's a lot of people out there going, hey, wait a minute, the water's bad here, or this or that, or yeah, but we need to make money and the town's this. And you know, it's a classic battle, and it's playing out everywhere in every realm of industry. It's kind of like AI. You can't say no to AI. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Yeah.
But I think that's an amazing story, and that's kind of a serious story.
Absolutely.
You know, I have a more ridiculous short film that I would immediately make, though. I want to share with you.
Please.
You know, Igor the rat outside of the Fenimore cheese place where you get the best cheese curds in the entire world. And I can absolutely clarify that they're the best. And this is not an ad.
I don't know this.
Do you know Igor the rat? It's just like this giant rat. And every time we go there and get cheese curds, which is, you know, it's an important thing for my family. The best. Like,
cheese
there's
curds are
Igor
very
the rat.
important.
It's this giant, huge rat outside named after Igor Stravinsky in 1971. And I just think that would be a great short film. It's all about Igor. And it's about, it could actually be about the first thing I said. You could actually get, you're in as Igor. And then the movie becomes about like the family farms and dairy farming in Wisconsin. And, you know, actually, I just came up with a better idea. Combining this silly little idea.
Copyright.
That's right.
Thanks,
That's
Doug.
right. You know what, Pete? You can just produce it, please, and then we'll have a movie here. Anyway, yeah, I digress. But I'm not kidding. Anybody who's driven through Fenimore knows that right outside the cheese store, the Car Valley cheese store right there, there's this giant rat, and it's huge. And I always think about the trap. It's like a mouse trap the size of your car to get that thing.
That's great.
But anyway. So yeah, I was just thinking about different ideas. But
Doug Prey is my guest. He is an award-winning filmmaker who is originally from Wisconsin, joining us here tonight on Nite Lite. We're talking about some of his films and his process and all kinds of good stuff. You know, what is your favorite part of the process, Doug? Because with documentary films, I've never been part of a documentary, but I've heard I have a lot of. There's you go.
Igor.
Nice.
That's Igor on a trailer. It's not a trap.
You're
it's
watching
not one of
on
those
the
new
stream.
traps that looks like a trailer.
That's great. And there's your DVD. Do they still make DVDs? I don't know. There's your album cover or whatever.
Blu-ray. People
Blu-ray.
still buy Blu-ray.
Sure.
The power of film you were talking about earlier. We actually, because a lot of people are into classic cinema. A lot of people still watch Blu-rays. So we were like, should we even put it out on Blu-ray and DVD? And we're like, no. And then we're like, wait a minute. They actually, it's like vinyl.
There's your fan base. Yeah,
you know, people buy vinyl.
That's great. Have to give a shout out to Mike Mercury, who introduced us, your pal, who I understand you go back all the way to 4th grade.
I met Mike in 4th grade, literally. His desk was right in front of my desk in Mrs. Endelman's class at West Middleton Elementary School in I'm not going to say the date because that would date me.
Yeah, you don't have to.
1906.
Was he a smart ass even then?
Kind of. Yeah, Mike was actually just an amazingly good guy all the time. And when he became a comedian, I was like, but Mike, you weren't like that quote unquote funny guy in class. There's always like a class clown who you think is going to be a comedian. And I don't know if you've noticed this, Pete, over your career, but like the people who are the funniest in real life, like in everyday real life in class or just your friend, like in your friend group, there's always one person who's just super funny. Yeah. They never become comedians.
Correct.
It's the person who actually studies it and kind of says like, I want to do this and I'm going to learn this. I'm going to learn the craft. And Mike did that. And I got to be honest, like I was sort of surprised when he said I'm becoming a comedian. And then I went and saw him like a couple of years later because he was in LA, whatever. There was different connection. Yeah. I was like, holy shit. He learned this and he's really, really good. And I love seeing him on stage. So it's just, anyway, I've known Mike forever.
I've had the opportunity to work with Mike. I haven't done stand-up as a job in a long time, but he was one of the first guys I met and just a great guy. So before we let you go, Doug, tell me if you can, we've got about 2 minutes, your favorite part of the process, because documentary filmmaking, there's a lot of editing. Is it shooting? Is it finding the topic?
It's really the editing. I mean, even though editing is grueling and it takes like a year, because you're basically writing a script and taking from miles and miles or whatever you want to call it, 600 hours of footage and going, okay, there's 90 minutes in here. And it could go this way, it could go that way, it could go upside down, we could flip it, we could start with this, we could end with it. You've just so many options. So that's daunting. And honestly, it's a pain. It really is. There's no editor out there who's edited a documentary who's not nodding their head right now if they happen to be listening. Right. And they're not because they're in the grueling. They're in the trenches right now. But it's just really hard. But it's so creative because you can just my favorite part is when I'm just editing and I'm like, oh, wow, this music with this quote, with this scene and this picture, that works. It's just, and you hit on it, and sometimes it's accidental. You'll just throw a piece of music under a quote, and you go, "Oh man, I just felt something." And the whole goal is to make your audience feel something, whether they're laughing or crying or just kind of really interested in the subject. And so I guess it would be editing, even though I promised my wife that I wouldn't edit again because my back is so screwed up from editing.
Oh yeah, that's so fun.
I got a bad back.
It's so funny how editors, there's such, I remember working on a narrative project with an editor and I was wearing a different outfit. And he goes, I want to put this scene here. And I go, you can't do that. I'm 2 hours earlier in the story. He goes, no one will ever notice that. I go, yeah, right. We had a test screening. Nobody noticed it. The guy had my full respect from that moment on.
That's awesome.
Oh, no. But I can tell you there's groups dedicated to continuity errors.
I'm sure. Yeah,
it's true, but it's also like editing is all about knowing what are people actually thinking about in the moment, and you have to constantly be living what the audience is seeing. And so whenever I'm talking to other editors or trying to edit, I'm always like, wait, what's the audience thinking right now? They know this and they know this and they've seen this. So what's going to get them right here? In a good way. I mean, it's very manipulative, but I use that word in a good way, like that you're manipulating time and space and pictures, and it's exciting. I love filmmaking, and I guess that's my favorite part, even though it's the part that I must stop because my doctor said, like, dude, you got a bad back, you got to stop editing.
Make a documentary on scoliosis. It just fell right in your lap there, Doug. Hey, this is so much fun, buddy. Thank you for being on the show.
Do you have the copyright to that as well already?
We do now, Amanda. Get those fingers going. We got to beat Doug to the punch. Thank you, sir. It's so great meeting you. Yeah,
Total
keep us
honor.
posted on what's coming, and don't be a stranger.
No, thank you so much, Pete. Really
all right, that's Doug Prey. Check out his work. Just go to IMDb, folks. He's made so many great films, award-winning films. There's lots out there for you to check out, and look for his What was the rat called again?
It's not mine. Igor.
Well, soon to be,
Just go
soon
to
be.
Fenimore and buy some curds and tell me they're not the squeakiest best.
All right. We're coming right back, folks. Joel Murray is going to be here at 7:35. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Thank you, man. That was fun.
You hear me? Oh, hey, Doug, you there?
It's hopeless, so I guess I'll leave it alone.
Well, I spent all that day fixing up to go somewhere. Thought I was late, and I found she wasn't there. I guess I'll find love, peace of mind some other time, but I still have today. I gotta get away, I don't
know where to go. It's hopeless, so.
From Hobart to Bay Settlement, 97.9 WGBW.
Appleton Cigar Company on College Avenue has been serving the community for over 25 years. If you are a cigar aficionado looking for a one-of-a-kind experience, you need to check out Appleton Cigar, which boasts the largest selection of cigars north of Milwaukee with over 706 cigars to choose from in a walk-in humidor. The Cigar Lounge offers an impressive variety of spirits and cocktails that pair perfectly with a premium cigar. For the full experience, come to Appleton Cigar at 415 College Ave, Monday through Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. For more information, go to appletoncigar.com.
Hey, it's Amanda, and we all know that Northeast Wisconsin has some of the best events around, but trying to find them all can be tricky. So here at WGBW, we decided to do the work for you. Prevent boredom on any night by going to WGBW.FM and click events in the top right corner. You'll never have to spend forever scrolling to find out what's going on in your area. And if you got an event to share, hit us up by emailing info@WGBW.FM, bringing you local news and timeless hits while giving you the 411 on what's happening in New Wisco.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
State Senator Sarah Kieski, I want to talk about campus closures, especially the UW Baraboo closure.
To see these closures keep happening is heartbreaking, and seeing that there's not been an appreciation of not only the importance of this for students, but really recognizing that these are economic drivers in these small rural communities that is having a huge impact.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show, weekday afternoons from 4 until 6.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Civic Media.
Get up home. I want to drive them home. When you're feeling
Welcome back. Pete Schwaba, this is Nite Lite. Oh, that was fun getting to know Doug Craig. What a great guy. Really good filmmaker, too. Joel Murray will be here at 7:35 after the news. We're going to talk to Joel about his new role on Chicago PD, which is in its 14th season, part of the One Chicago Dick Wolf series. Man, how much success has that guy had? All the Law and Orders. Now he's got the whole Chicago thing going.
It's just never ending.
Unbelievable. You watch any of those?
It's kind of one of those things where you watch it when it's on, but
Yeah.
you don't seek it out kind of thing.
Same, yeah.
Yeah.
Although I do watch Chicago PD. I've stuck with that from its inception just because I have a connection to Chicago. But it's one of those shows that's gotten better the longer it's been on. So I'm excited to talk to Joel about his new role, Commander Devlin. That'll be fun. That happens at 7:35. Going to the text line here, our question of the night is, who is your favorite TV or movie housewife? Lori from Hayward in the 715 says, Good. All right, I started to read this text. She clarified, "Good evening, Pete. For my favorite mom, I would pick Barbara Sandwich of Western Big Valley. She was a strong, bold woman raising a family of 4. Sometimes it takes a tough woman to be a good mom." Well said, Lori. But she knew I struggled, so she corrected herself and in all caps said, "Barbara Stanwyck." That's what happens when using the microphone and you have a phone that decides willy-nilly to change words.
Oh, you would know that.
I totally know that. I do that all the time.
There are some messages I get from you or I have to decipher it. I'm like, where's a code? Where's a coder?
And it's not as bad if you proofread right away, but sometimes I don't want to forget something, so I just say it, and I go back to it, and I'm like, oh, God, and then I got to clarify it. So I'm totally with you, Lori. That's great. 608 Sun Prairie says the best housewife I think is Ava Gabor in Green Acres. She always looked great and never complained about living in a dump of a house. She was always upbeat. Well said. Chris from the 773 says, thanks for the National Housewife Day heads up. You reminded me to pick up flowers for my favorite housewife. I hope he's married to her. Loving mother, homeschool teacher, and beautiful mind, body, and soul of a woman. Oh, and thanks for keeping me out of the doghouse. I mean, I almost feel like Chris should send us some money for that because we did him a serious solid here.
Or like cookies or something. Cookie bouquet.
Do you eat cookies from, I mean, Chris seems like a good guy. I don't think I'm eating cookies from his house, though. Do you?
You never know.
You never know. I mean, it could be great, but.
That's how you build an immune system, Pete.
I grew up with parents that always had to check, if you got like an apple at Halloween, like my friend Mike Toomey says, check it for a razor blade on the inside, like someone actually does that, Lisa in the 608 in Middleton says, Lucille Bluth from Arrested Development is my fave TV mom. She's manipulative and self-centered, and I'm glad she isn't my mom, but she makes the show. Thank you, Lisa. Well said. From the 818, Bridget says, Mrs. C from Happy Days. Sweet, funny, smart. Absolutely. Thank you, Bridget. John in the 608 says, Barbara Billingsley was the best mom, loving, sweet, attentive to Ward, fair to the boys, great cook, nice Sears catalog figure. What is that? I think if you told someone now that might get you a poke in the chops. Hey, you've got a real Sears catalog. Like, you're built like a washing machine.
Did you read the one from Daniel Wheeler from our Facebook comments?
No, I'm getting to I haven't gotten to the Facebook text yet. John says, plus she had the personal security and balls to let the nickname Beaver stick to her youngest boy. Not afraid to take terrifying risks. As a lad, I was consumed with this dynamic. And here's the kicker. I'll be damned. Turns out she speaks jive. Who would have guessed? Of course, from the movie Airplane. Barbara Billingsley. That's a great one, John. What did Danny Wheels say?
Carol Brady, because she, Mike, and Alice were the first throuple on TV.
Ooh, that's some weird imagery. I don't know what kind of fantasies Danny Wheels has going over there in Oshkosh. What else do we have on the social media? Oh, actually, I can look at those. Can you read the stream comments? I can't see. I got nothing on the monitor here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got Dave Kanush, who said Conrad must be back. Sorry.
He said that after the thing went down, too. That's a total shot at the K-Man. Listen, Dave, I can make fun of Conrad, but listeners, no way. I think Conrad's not. I do ask him to go get the tools quite a bit. But
we got someone who says Peg Bundy. So yes. Katie Seagal, she reminds me of a childhood friend's mom when I would visit his home. That's from PJ, the alter ego, who also said Mrs. Cunningham and June Cleaver.
Wow, he's got a lot of them. Those two have a conversation. Is it PJ and Dave?
Yeah,
no?
PJ and Dave, I think. I don't know. They're commenting a lot. We appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
That's awesome. Two very outstanding listeners. I actually saw Dave in person this weekend because he's from Marinette. And I was talking to my mother-in-law and a friend of mine. No, I was walking back from my mother-in-law's with my wife, and we were talking to a friend of ours. And Dave rolls up. He goes, hey, Pete, it's Dave from the stream. I'm like, oh, hey, man. It's just out of nowhere. It was awesome. Tim Baker says June Cleaver, hands down, all in caps. Tim is not messing around. I said Mrs. C, but I changed my my answer to Laura Petrie. And Gloria from Modern Family. Sean on social media says, I got to go with June Cleaver. Always keeping Ward conscious of the beaver. Yes, of course. Thank you, Sean. Our Nite Lite window fun picture tonight, taken through the window, is of 6 people from North Carolina.
Why are they here?
Well, the game yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
You don't follow a good. You're not into sports contests.
I'd rather play a sport than go watch them on TV.
There are 4 Panther fans and 2 Packer fans, but they're all from North Carolina. 2 of them used to live here, so there's 6 of them. Somehow they make it work. They all get along. I don't get it, but and there was no ill will, despite the Packers dropping a heartbreaker yesterday to their friend's team. So check out the Facebook Nite Lite window fun for your 6 people from North Carolina. Hey, when we come back after the news, my pal Joel Murray will be here. He is the newest addition to the cast of Chicago PD in its 14th season. We'll talk to Joel next. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Embrace of Andrew Cuomo is reflective of Donald Trump's understanding that this would be the best mayor for him.
President Trump is threatening to deploy the U.S. military to Nigeria. He says it's due to anti-Christian violence, but the Nigerian government is pushing back on that claim. ABC's Karen Travers.
He said it's because that there are killings of Christians in that country, in Nigeria. Now, there is political violence there, but when you look at it, it is complex. There are people targeted for their religion, but also ethnicity. It's important to note that the Nigerian government has pushed back on what they say is a mischaracterization.
This is ABC News.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly clear tonight. A low in the low 30s. A beautiful November day for tomorrow with lots of sunshine, a high within a few degrees of 60. Another nice day on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine, highs in the mid-50s. Right now it's 48.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
State Senator Sarah Kieski, I want to talk about campus closures, especially the UW Baraboo closure.
To see these closures keep happening is heartbreaking, and seeing that there's not been an appreciation of not only the importance of this for students, but really recognizing that these are economic drivers in these small rural communities that is having a huge impact.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show, weekday afternoons from 4 until 6.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Mother, there's too many of you crying.
Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. So great to have you with me on this Monday night. I wait all weekend for Monday, folks, so I can talk movies and TV and comedy and music and all the good stuff. We are broadcasting live statewide and parts beyond over the app and stream. So wherever you're joining me from tonight, welcome. Dave on the stream said Killdozer. That was early in the show and I missed it. That's a Butch Vig band or Butch Vig produced band. Do you remember what we were talking about?
I have no idea what we were talking about.
It was a Halloween thing. That is the voice of Amanda Nimmer sitting in for the K-Man tonight, doing a bang-up job. Are you having fun?
Yeah, I'm having fun. You know, it's way better than Thursday when everything's not imploding all over the place.
Well, here's another reason it's better than Thursday, because my next guest is a very talented guy. He's a friend of mine. He's one of the stars of the new Chicago triumvirate, the One Chicago Family, more specifically Chicago PD. And he joins us over the stream, Mr. Joel Murray. Hey, Joel.
Hey, Pete. It's good to be here.
It's great.
Love your segue music, man. It's so cool.
We try to make it like a high school dance here when we come back from breaks. And oftentimes people do slow dance throughout the studio. It's
8 inches apart.
8 inches apart.
8 inches apart.
Little room for the guardian angel. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I'm talking to a fellow Catholic boy. Of course you know.
Mm-hmm. 14 years of Catholic school.
Hey, Joel, 14 years of Catholic school?
Well adjusted. But apparently I still need 2 theologies and 2 philosophies to graduate from Loyola Chicago.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Other than that,
high
I'm
school?
set with an English degree. No, university.
Oh, I thought you went to Marquette for some reason. Okay.
I just seemed like I was there. I had a few Vulcan mind melts. Yeah, I was visiting a lot.
You act like a Marquette grad. That's got to be it. I don't know. I went to DePaul, and I was the same way, very, very close to graduating. But
you act like a DePaul attendee.
A blue demon. Hey, this is great. It's great to have you. I want to talk about your new character, Mark Devlin. But first, I have to ask you, Joel, do you have a favorite TV housewife?
That I've had in the past?
Well, not that you've had.
Well, I mean, that I've performed with.
Oh, you could do that. That's a different angle, or just one growing up that you'd watch on TV, like Mrs. C or Laura Petrie, someone like that. It's National Housewives Day.
I was a big fan of Samantha and Bewitched.
Oh, nice.
There's a lot there to like. I mean, I thought I could utilize her so much better than Darren. I don't know what that guy was doing, either of them. Laura Petrie
really was blew it.
Pretty fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I've worked with my wife a couple times, but I don't know if I had any wives. I'm always the guy that lost his wife or divorced or something like that.
Oh, jeez.
The strangely single guy, the 30-year-old virgin I was on one show.
I'm sorry for your fictitious losses, Joel. That's terrible.
Or wins. Depends on how you look at it.
Hey, so let's talk about that. I was saying earlier on the show, Chicago PD, you kind of have to pick your shows. There's so many Dick Wolf shows. And I watched SVU for a long time. I watched the original Law and Order, loved it. And some of the ones that aren't even on anymore. But like in terms of the One Chicago group, I have stuck with Chicago PD for 14 seasons. I'm totally caught up. And when I saw you, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a really fun year for you, because anyone they bring on, there you go. If you're watching on the stream, there's a Commander.
That was Billy Gardell and early Mike and Molly. Boy, that guy's big. Ow.
Amanda,
There
come
you
on.
go.
Just there you go.
Yeah.
That's a great. Now, okay. I just have to ask you, this must be so much fun for you, basically a native Chicagoan, to shoot a show in your hometown.
Oh, just putting on the stuff was a riot for me. And I have an old cop coat that I kind of cherish. But, they dressed me up and was like, yeah, we don't need you for about 15, 20. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to go withdraw some money. I'm going to go get a coffee. I'm going to go get a donut. But just like walking around the Daily Center one day, we were shooting, and I was just going in stores and just seeing if I could get a free donut or not, free coffee.
Or make a citizen's arrest or something.
Time, just make people paranoid, walk up behind guys that are obviously smoking weed. Like, hey, still not legal. Anyway.
That's fantastic.
It was fun. It was really fun. And, you pictured Jason Begay there. I actually worked with him a million years ago on Dharma and Greg. And I pointed out to him, oh, no, we've worked together before. He goes, oh, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I go, yeah, you were one of Jen Elfman's friends of the week back in the day. Back then. Yeah, no, I don't remember a lot of that. So
it's a pretty good Begay. That's very good Begay.
Well, he's close to my brother Brian too.
Oh,
the two of them in the room would be kind of a similar conversation. Two guys. Anyway, but yeah, it was really fun working on it. And I was told I had 4 of the first 8, and I went in and auditioned. I got a costume fitting, and the gal was outfitting me with boots and parkas and stuff. And I'm like, it's 91 degrees today in Chicagoland. And she's like, yeah, no, I do my job. And so I don't know. I fulfilled the first 8 quota. So we have to see if there's more down the way or not. But according to me, I'm not dead. So I think, until you kill me, you gotta keep showing me.
My guest is Joel Murray, a very accomplished actor and director, and he is the newest cast member of Chicago PD. He plays Commander Mark Devlin. Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because last year I noticed Sean Hattasey. It seems like whoever they bring in locks horns, with Voight, and I assume that you guys are building to that. I don't know what you can divulge or in terms of spoilers, but how do you see that going?
I'm sure I'm not supposed to divulge anything, but still not dead.
Okay.
A lot of these shows where you get, we got a really good episode for you coming up, but you got to see John Wall first, and it's like, huh? And then all of a sudden, you don't get your script in the mail or delivered, and you have to go in, and the producer's like, it's been great, got a great episode. And you jump in an ice hole at the end of it and kill yourself. And that's how they got rid of me on Shameless, So it's just one of those things. But they haven't given me that talk with Dick Wolf yet. So I'm looking. I think I'm not dead, but it's been fun. I've been working with Begay. I've been working with Amy Morton, who's like, one of the queens of Chicago theater.
Yeah.
Had the cool husband, and they have a cottage up there, Big Sand Lake, Wisconsin, up there near north of Phelps. So they're good people.
Wait, Amy Morton's family did?
Yeah.
Her
cool. Husband's family, whose name is escaping me. He's a sound guy, real cool sound guy. When I did plays at like Remains and Organic and stuff, he was always the hip sound guy. And LaRoyce Hawkins, who's been on the whole time.
Yeah,
he's a cool cat. I've met him around town over the years, and a friend, a publicist friend in common. Anyway.
Okay. Were you a fan of the show before you started working on it? Like, had you watched the show quite a bit?
No, I hated the show because there were never any Chicago actors on it, and we used to.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then I found out that like my brother Andy watched it all the time. I'm like, oh. And he goes, yeah, I get my fix of Chicago. It's great. And so I started watching it, and I'm like, oh, that guy over there, he's Chicago. I know him, Stoltz and Stolte, and some people. But I saw we were doing the Who's Live Anyway show. I was doing, and we were up in Saskatchewan, name dropper, and Dermot Mulroney texted me out of the blue, going, hey, I'm in Saskatchewan too. Any chance of getting a ticket for the show? And I'm like, pretty sure there's a lot of comps available tonight, Dermot. And so I set a couple tickets aside for him, and he came back afterwards, and we hung out. And when we got done with the evening, I said, hey, by the way, I've never ever gotten on any of those, and never an audition, anything for any of those Dick Wolf shows. And put in a word for me, will you? And he's the new fire chief on Chicago Fire. And he goes, oh yeah, sure. So week or two later, I'm in Chicago. I sang the stretch at Wrigley. And the next day, somebody called and said, my agent called and said, yeah, they want to know if you'd be interested in doing this part on Chicago PD. And I'm like, yeah, I don't miss too many Who's Line shows, and if it's good and blah, blah, blah. And so he called back a little while later, like, no, this is happening. They want you to do this thing. I'm like, oh, well, that Dermot Mulroney is powerful. And so I reached out to him, and he's like, no, I had nothing to do with that, man. Thanks, though. Yeah, no, it wasn't me. I've been.
Do you think he's just being a swell guy or what?
No, he's been like touring with his band with his brother, and he have a band called One for the Ditch. And he's like, yeah, no, I didn't do anything. Sorry. But,
that's surprising because most deals are cut in Saskatchewan when it comes to
right
casting and
got that right. Stuff. Mm-hmm. All good.
Well, that's awesome, Joel. And let's talk about what else you got going on. This is kind of cool. I saw that you're going to play Pat Summerall in a movie called Madden.
Yeah. You would think that's a good part.
Oh, no. What, do you fall out of the booth or something?
Fall in an ice hole. It's funny. About a year and a half ago, this friend of mine said, this guy wants to play golf with somebody cooler than me. I've been teaching him to play golf, and he thought you'd be fun to play golf with. I'm like, but it's David O. Russell, the director, and who's done all kinds of things, and except golf. And so I was kind of teaching him to play golf, and he and this guy and my son Gus and I would play Penmar by the sea here, which is not by the sea, but it's 30 blocks from it. But we play out here in California, and then we would have some drinks and food afterwards. But really interesting cat, and he started talking about this Madden movie, and there's a part in there for you. I'm sure there's some guy, the NFL guy who's from Chicago or something like that. And then all of a sudden he started going, look at this video of this, watch this video and look at this thing. And I'm going to send you a wig. And like, next thing you know, there's like a really cheap white wig in the mail. And read a couple lines with this wig on for me. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to send you a blue blazer now. And so he kept sending me stuff, and I wasn't getting the part. And all of a sudden, my Summerall was believable enough for him. And they offered me, and this is from Amazon is making this movie, right? Huge movie.
Yeah.
And so they offered me the part, and it was going to be basically scale and a local hire. So you're going to fly yourself to Florida, to Atlanta. You're going to put yourself up in Atlanta, and you're going to drive yourself to and from the set and the airport and everything every day. And you're going to make, food money, basically. And so I told my agent after a couple of days, I was like, you know what? Tell them no. And my agent's like, it's Pat Summerall. And so they came back. Oh, no, we didn't mean that. Oh, you're not a local hire. You'll get paid triple scale. You'll get a limousine. You'll get the hotel and first class this, first class that. I'm like, yeah, see, there you go. And
now we're talking. Yeah.
Yeah. But I still have no lines, and I still have no script.
Oh man.
So I went, and I'm working, and he just wanted me to improvise everything. And
Joel, let's pick up right there. We got to do a really quick break here. We're coming back with
I'm
actor Joel.
Getting played off.
We're coming right back as Nite Lite with Pete
Honor
Schwaba.
Just to be nominated.
With locations in Appleton and Oshkosh, Insight Eye Care has been serving the Fox Valley since 1972, offering comprehensive eye care services. Their doctors also share a special interest in treating chronic dry eye disease, providing specialty contact lenses, and expert pediatric eye care. Find Insight Eye Care on North Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton, improving lives by improving sight with quality eye care for everyone in your family. Insight Eye Care. Visit wiinsight.com to schedule your eye exam today.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drugged driving and let's achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Departments of Health Services, Transportation, and Justice.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
State Senator Sarah Kieski, I want to talk about campus closures, especially the UW Baraboo closure.
To see these closures keep happening is heartbreaking, and seeing that there's not been an appreciation of not only the importance of this for students, but really recognizing that these are economic drivers in these small rural communities that is having a huge impact.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 until 6.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Civic Media.
Small businesses are the heart of America. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Find a mentor today at score.org.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
Civic Media.
Charleston was once the rain.
Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. From the 608, Steady Eddie says, Pete, I second the vote for favorite TV housewife. I also chose Barbara Sandwich as opposed to Stanwyck from the television show The Big Belly. That is the shortest text Steady Eddie has ever sent us. Thank you, buddy. Great to hear from you, Steady Eddie. My guest is Joel Murray. You can see him as Commander Mark Devlin on Chicago PD this season. They're 14th, which is an incredibly good run. Joel, we were talking about you playing the iconic Pat Summerall, a really cool role in the movie Madden. Nicolas Cage is John Madden.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was supposedly he came in to read for Al Davis, which I could see, right?
Yeah, totally.
And he said, "Oh no, I want to play Madden," and so he does a really good Madden, and next thing you know, you got Nick Cage's Madden. But
and you do a really good Nick Cage, thereby meaning you would do a really good Madden. So come on.
There you go. But I got to work with him. I got to work with some other people that were really fun. Rick Hoffman, who's kind of the Weasley guy on Suits, was playing Howard Cosell, and this kid from Canada who's a rapper, white rapper, was playing a young Bob Costas, and it was really goofy. And we all at the same time got to see Nick Cage as Madden, and And at the same time, right before we rolled, they put earwigs in our ears. So we're hearing the director, and the director David's telling everybody what to do, and he's telling Nick Cage what to do, and we're all just in this surreal world all of a sudden. And
wow.
Some people have lines that they audition with, and some people don't. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but it was really, really different. And then when it got to be just this one-on-one stuff with Nick Cage, all I would be saying is like, all right, well, it's this date in Dallas, so that'd be, County Stadium, whatever. So it would be Tony Dorsett. It would be, Too Tall Jones. It would be Billy Joe Dupree.
Yeah.
So not Staubach. It would Danny White would have been the right date. But so I did that kind of research while I'm waiting, trying to see if they're going to give me any lines. So I was riffing with Nick Cage, and so he's got stuff in his ear he's being told to say, and I'm just riffing off him and setting it up with a 5-yard, I can't talk, 5-yard out to Billy Joe Dupree, and it was really interesting. And then we're in Turner Stadium in Atlanta, so you're going this way and you're at the Raiders game. You're going this way, you're at the Lions game. You're going this way, you're in Cowboy Stadium. So that was really cool. And I had to say eventually, I was friends with to Nick Cage. I was friends with your cousin Gio, and he was a friend of mine. I knew from Italy years ago, in like 1982, 83, and he all of a sudden kind of broke it, just like, well, you knew Gio. I love Gio. Gio was the best, man. You were friends with Gio. And so then, he was much nicer to me. And, I live in Las Vegas. You should come there sometime. A lot of people say, weird things about it, but I like Las Vegas.
Oh, man, that is gold, dude.
It was pretty good. A surreal moment. But I did that, and then, back on the bus and back doing the Who's Line, and been doing the Chicago thing. I did another goofy football movie down in Tampa for a month. Called The Big Game, where I won't give anything away on that, but this was a small indie movie that I liked the darkness of the script. And I played one of these fanatical Florida fans, and it's the big game against Florida State, and it gets really weird and dark. So I got to do that. So I've gotten to take some breaks from the Who's Line, but I also got to breeze through Wisconsin at one point. We were at
you were on the show talking about that last time. Do you have it? We've got only about a minute left, unfortunately, Joel. But any more Who's Live coming up here?
No, I said we did the one at the Paps, and we were in La Crosse, which is a fun place to play. But we're not headed back there anytime soon. But I don't know the schedule. I'm just trying to get through the holidays, man. We got a wedding coming up. It's going to get crazy here. But, yeah.
Well, I was excited because I'm totally outnumbered here as a Bears and Cubs fan, and they don't hesitate to abuse me, and it's fun. I like being that guy, but next time you'll have to come on. I'll have to save some more time so we could talk about some of that stuff too, because it's good.
That was the other thing with the Chicago PD. I got to go to 3 Cub win playoff games. So all 3 I went to, they won, and that Bears game Sunday was absolutely phenomenal. That was
the game of the year.
I almost broke the TV, and then the next thing you know, I'm just like, of course they win, of course. But it was the best of times, the worst of times. It was absolutely insane. I've never seen a game like that.
It was
and
great.
And that's how the World Series was too, by the way.
Oh, it was phenomenal. All right, we'll have to do this again soon. Yeah, phenomenal World Series, maybe the best ever. A lot of people are saying, but we'll we'll have you back soon. I'd love to talk about all that stuff too. Joel Murray, check him out as Commander Mark Devlin on this season's
Wednesday
Chicago
nights.
PD. Wednesday
nights.
The other ones.
And I think it's the 13th season, 14th for Fire.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's a great night to watch.
Anybody's wagering on the show tonight.
Thank you, sir. Have a great night, Joel. As
Great to
always,
see you,
my
Pete.
friend.
All the best.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Check out Chicago PD on your color television. We'll be back tomorrow night. Conrad will be back. Amanda, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How are we doing on time?
We
10
got
seconds?
about 30 seconds.
Okay, fantastic. My thanks to Joel Murray and Doug Prey. Thank you for all your texts and calls. Always more fun when you guys participate. We're coming back tomorrow night. On behalf of Amanda, I'm Pete Schwaba saying good night, Wisconsin.
If it happens in Wisconsin,